Hey guys, welcome to Black Rated. Welcome to another video. And right now is time to do, for me, a Barcelona team. And this is going to be a very specific Barcelona team, because this is not going to be the Barcelona team that I would like, or yes, it is the Barcelona team that I would like, but more than not, I'm going to do today a showcase of the Barcelona team that we could have. This is the Barcelona team that we could have realistically had since the period where we started falling off, and that is since the 16-17 season, because I think honestly that everything was going fine. Actually, everything started to break in that period during the 15-16 season, where you guys saw that we started losing a lot of games at the end of the season, and we almost lost the league. But before that, we were completely given. We were harassing everyone. We beat Madrid that season 4-0. It looked like another treble season, and everything was actually going very well until that last part of the season. Then after that, you've seen that as a team we've been losing time after time after time. And I'm gonna tell you my team for every single one of those seasons. Since the 16-17, what players I would have signed, what players I would have kept, and how I would have done all these things. These are all realistic signings, and I'm going to put some names. I'm going to explain why they're realistic, and I'm going to explain how you would have gone ahead and done such a thing. And then you guys, I'm going to give you my arguments. We definitely don't sign all of these players that we were signing like time and time again. So let's start, because with the 16-17 season, and by the way, this is with Luis Enrique at the head of the project. And when I mean at the head of the project, I mean that he takes maximum decisions in what happens. And I'm sure that he would have been okay with doing something like this. Because unlike Guardiola is not a coach that I think would have, because he liked the Messi, Xavi, Iniesta so much that he wasn't probably able to touch anything. But Luis Enrique, I'm sure that at the end of the day, he would have chosen the right things, and he would have the confidence and support from the club to do such a thing. Again, this is if everything goes right, and the coaches has the power, the players have no power to make all the decisions that they're making right now. And let's go ahead with the 16-17 season. In the 16-17 season, with the last season of Luis Enrique, we would have had Ter Stegen in net with Jasper Cillessen. We would have Hector Bellerin and Sergio Roberto, because we wouldn't have let Bellerin go to Arsenal. We would have told to Bellerin the seasons before, hey, you're going to be second to Dani Alves, you're going to be playing substitute minutes behind Dani Alves. And when that happens, Bellerin gets to play as a starter when Dani Alves leaves, and that would have been perfectly fine. Maybe Sergio Roberto, because we know that he would have been playing there as the backup to Bellerin. That would have been completely fine, with Sergio Roberto also being able to play midfield. We have center backs in Piqué Bartra, Umtiti and Vermaelen. Possibly you could have also had Jeremy Mathieu, but we would have sold Mathieu, and Mascherano would have left that season too. We would have kept Bartra. We don't let go of Bartra. We tell him, hey, we're gonna be giving you minutes eventually, and he's gonna play a lot of minutes. Vermaelen, because of his injury record, that means that everything would have worked perfectly fine. The same thing with the left back position. Jordi Alba as a starter. We tell Grimaldo, hey, Jordi Alba has a few more seasons, just train with the first team. You're going to be training with the first team every time, and you're definitely going to be our left back for the future. And I think that would be perfectly acceptable for Grimaldo for a couple seasons. In midfield, we had Busquets, Rakitic and Iniesta, perfectly fine. Sergio Roberto as the backup to Busquets, Aleñá and Rafinha as the backup to Rakitic and Iniesta. Rafinha also being able to play in any of the three positions in attack. And Sandro Munir behind the backups of Messi, Suarez and Neymar. I think that step forward line is perfectly acceptable, because Sandro, in comparison to Paco Alcacer, is not the biggest deal. Lucas Digne is not much better than Grimaldo. Andre Gomes, not much better than Sergio Roberto. Same thing with Denis Suarez, not much better than Aleñá, Rafinha. So I think this would be a perfectly good team. we know that Luis Enrique liked Rafinha quite a lot, and in my opinion, I like him quite a bit too. So this would be my Barcelona team. Then you have the likes of Ter Stegen and Jasper Citizen in the 17-18 season, with Bellerin, Sergio Roberto, that doesn't change. Then you have Piqué, Bartra, Umtiti and Vermaelen, that doesn't change yet again. Alba and Grimaldo, once again at left back positions. In midfield, we keep all the same with Busquets, Sergio Roberto, Rakitic, Aleñá, Iniesta and Rafinha. But this is where the big thing happens, because guys know that after the 16-17 season, people want to come ahead and get Neymar. PSG signed Neymar for 220 million euros. But on top of that, we're going to do something and also let go Suarez for about 100 million euros. Suarez, that in the season before scored a lot of goals, was very important for Barcelona. And it's a shame. Honestly, Suarez is one of my favorite players of all time. But if you can get that money for him, we see that we should have taken the money if that came. Suarez at that season, in his prime still, 100 million would have been perfectly fine to get for him. And with that money, we were able to sign the likes of Dembélé, Irving Lozano, and Kylian Mbappe. And this is where the first thing comes along. Irving Lozano at PSV, okay, he already had shown at Mexico. You go ahead and sign him for the cheap. And then you go ahead and sign Kylian Mbappe. And to whoever one is telling me that we couldn't have signed Kylian Mbappe, I just want to remind you that we are basically using the money that we got from Coutinho to sign Mbappe. Coutinho were about 160 million euros. Mbappe is 180 million. We go ahead and sign him. And I remind you, this is with the extra 100 million euros from Suarez. Whatever we lost on Andre Gomes, Paco Alcacer, Lucas Dean, Denis Suarez, like Alex Vidal, Arda Turan, like this is saving a lot of money everywhere else. So we're able to make these kind of signings. This would have been perfectly fine. Obviously, this takes a lot of courage because Mbappe, people really trusted in Mbappe after he had the season at PSG and after he shone at the World Cup. And with this, Dembélé plays a lot of minutes. Lozano gets to play in either wing. And then you can put Mbappe rotating with Messi sporadically. But ideally, your three front line is decided. And Lozano gets to play a lot because he gets to play as a sub for any of those three players in attack. That is perfectly fine. You also have Aleñá, Rafinha, Sergio Roberto. They can sub in midfield at any point if need be. In the 18-19 season, you go ahead and keep the same thing. Ter Stegen, Citizen, Bellerin, Sergio Roberto. Big change here. You let go of Gerard Piqué and you sign Clement Lenglet. With Clement Lenglet, you have Bartra, Umtiti, Lenglet, and Thomas Vermaelen. But with Thomas Vermaelen, you don't count so much because, he was a player that gets injured sometimes. And you signed Lenglet Todibo that season. You signed Lenglet Todibo during the winter. And then you have Alba and Grimaldo for the 18-19 season. Busquets and Oriol Busquets get to be the CDMs. You make the signing of Artur Melo. And then you have Aleñá and Rafinha as their substitutes, with Sergio Roberto and Riqui Puig in that midfield. Any of those combination of players can make your starting 11. Between Rafinha, Sergio Roberto, that are the most experienced players, honestly, I think that they would do for what we did that season, which was only winning the Liga and the Copa, and we won them. Okay, I want to say only, but we could have won all those trophies, I think, without Rakitic. Because let me tell you, remember that we would have gotten that season an offer of 90 million euros from PSG for even Rakitic. I take those 90 million and I do the kind of thing where I sign Artur. I trusted in Sergio Roberto and in Rafinha. And last season, let's remember that we only won La Liga. And you're telling me that the only reason that we don't win La Liga is because of Rakitic? Then I would tell you that you're mistaken. So we do this. Busquets, Artur, Sergio Roberto, or Busquets, Artur, Rafinha, or whatever you want to do. And a forward line of Messi, Suarez, Mbappe. Messi, Dembele, Mbappe. Then with Lozano, and you promote Abel Ruiz to the first team. You do that, that is perfectly fine. Abel Ruiz gets continuity. And let me tell you, if any of these youngsters don't work out, there is more than a plethora and abundance of players that you can sign to replace them. If Dembele is not good enough, you go ahead and promote Lozano to the first team, or you go for Sancho, you go for Leroy Sané. There is an abundance of players that you could go for. Same thing in midfield, same thing in defense. There's no one player that is if none of these players worked out, which I doubt. I'm sure that if you do this team would play brilliantly. It would have been absolutely amazing. And then next season, which is this current season, the 1920 season, this is how the team would have looked by now. Ter Stegen in net with Iñaki Peña. Citizen goes to Valencia. Bellerin and Sergio Roberto at right back. De Ligt, Umtiti at center backs. And if Umtiti keeps with injury pros, you promote Lenglet to be the starting left center back that we know that he can be. Todibo gets to be fourth center back, getting some minutes. And then you let go of Alba and promote Marco Cucurella to the first team. With this, you have Grimaldo, who's been training and preparing himself to be one of the best left backs in Europe, goes ahead and gets promoted to be starting left back for Barcelona. Cucurella goes ahead and tries to battle the position with Grimaldo, but understanding that he's going to be playing rotation. Then you have Busquets and Busquets once again, and then you make another signing in the midfield with Turan and De Jong. This time Busquets is going to be playing a lot better, and this is going to be helping him a lot more because Barcelona are going to be playing with a lot more energy because most of these players are really young, have to win a lot of trophies, and they're hungry to win these trophies. Therefore, they're going to be able. You're not playing with a bunch of 30 years old. You're playing with a bunch of 20 years old that are going to let you do your defensive work exceptionally well because you have a lot of legs around you. Artur and De Jong in the interior positions. That's going to be a masterclass of world football. It's going to be almost recovering Xavi Iniesta back. And then you have Aleñá, Riqui Puig, and Rafinha having to do the replacements here and doing everything that they can to, be at their best level possible to be able to compete in that midfield. And then, in this following season, again, Dembele, Messi, Mbappe in that forward line with Lozano able to substitute in any of the three positions, Abel Ruiz, and this is probably the only thing that we don't get to know by now, and that will be Ansu Fati. Probably you don't get the signing of Ansu Fati at the moment, and that's probably the only con. But yet again, he said Ansu Fati at this time will be 17, and if he has to wait 1 or 2 more years, we don't care because we already have a really settled forward line, and adding Ansu Fati when Messi's about to retire, that's perfectly fine. That suits what we're trying to do. And with this, you've saved not only a lot of money because no Griezmann, no Coutinho, no, like I said, André Gomes, Denis Suarez, Paco Alcácer, Lucas Dean, Paulinho, Arturo Vidal. You save a lot of money in this. You sign all this team with a profit, and you're using La Masia. You still have Messi at his best, and let me tell you that these kind of teams every season, they would win at least whatever we won that season, or if not, we could have even improved it. And I'm absolutely positive of that. For example, you're telling me that this team that I'm saying right now that we would have, isn't it better than the team that we have at the moment right now at Barcelona? Ter Stegen is the same. Bellerin for me is better, would be better than Semedo or Sergio Roberto, because, and by the way, he's free. You're not signing Semedo. Bellerin will be free because he was already at Barcelona. De Ligt better than Piqué, or at least at the same level right now, but De Ligt is 19 and is able to grow. And Umtiti, Lenglet, we already have that the same. Grimaldo, at this moment, younger than Jordi Alba, and able to grow in his performances. Busquets has more energy, is less burned out because he has to run less. And then you have Artur and De Jong, Riqui Puig, much better than having Rakitic in the first team. Aleñá gets to play a lot of minutes because there's no Arturo Vidal. Rafinha, let's see if he can stay injury free. And the forward line, would you rather have Messi Messi, Suarez, Griezmann, or Dembele, Messi and Mbappe, with Messi playing as a false nine and throwing passes to Dembele and Mbappe with their pace, exploiting, with Lozano being the warrior that he is on the pitch and being kind of the Pedro style, Villa Pedro. Like, I don't have a doubt. Then you progressively promote Ansu Fati, Ilaix Moriba, Xavi Simons, all these kind of players. You don't lose their talent, and you're able to promote them to the first team eventually. There is a path to the first team. These players in the academy, they see that there is a path because they see cases like Bellerin, like Grimaldo. They see Cucurelas maybe getting a chance, Oriol Busquets, Ricky Puig, Aleña, Rafinha, Abel Ruiz. Like, you see that there is a path to the first team. Therefore, you have a team that's younger. You have a team that's probably, I would say that it's better, but at least it's the same level that you have right now. You have a coach that has probably won it all, that has it all. Luis Enrique loves Barcelona, has played for the club, has won everything for the club, and it's fantastic. You probably are seeing the last couple years of Messi with Dembele and Mbappe on either side. Like, isn't this the best thing that we could do? And yet again, I want you guys to leave me your teams in the comment section below and what you think Barcelona could realistically have right now. Leave me all your opinions in the comment section below. But like I said, we have to aspire for something like this because this is excellence in my opinion. In comparison to what we have right now, which is Alba, Messi, Suarez, Piqué, Sergio Busquets, Rakitic. Like, we're playing with a bunch of 30 years old instead of renewing the team, playing with a lot of pace, with a lot of intensity, with a lot of energy. Like, this for me is the path to success, and we cannot do this right now because we didn't. And in theory, we could still do this with some minor changes, but the thing is, we have to learn from our mistakes. Use Ricky Puig, use Abel Ruiz, use Juan Miranda when he comes back from the Oriol Busquets, Aleña. Like, you have these youngsters, use them. You see that our players that their legs are not the same as they were a couple years ago. Get them out and bring new players that are going to be able to give you maximum level of intensity. But with that said and done, leave me all your opinions in the comment section below. Which teams would you do for Barcelona right now? Leave me all your opinions in the comment section below. Comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you next one on Blaugranas.